have had the rainiest spring this year and our garden is loving it. We are getting an overabundance of green beans. We had some family come pick yesterday and take some away, and we still have so many. So I'm just like green bean. And we love green beans to have through the year. My goal this year was 52 quarts. To have one for every week. We like to have like a meat, potatoes, and a veggie, and usually that's green beans once a week. So that was my plan this year, but I think I'm going to surpass it because yesterday alone I canned 32, well, yesterday and the night before. So within 24 hours I canned 32 pint quarts, and so that means I only need just a few more to get to 50, and 52. I'll probably get to that today. So I'm going to walk y'all through the process of canning green beans. This is going to be pressure canning. I've done pressure canning tutorials. This won't be like a true tutorial. I'll just walk y'all through what I'm doing. I do have a true tutorial on how to pressure can, talking about the parts of the pressure canner, why you would need to pressure can versus water bath can. So link that below. I did that a couple of summers back when I first was learning pressure canning. Okay, we're going to be doing green beans. I'm going to kind of take you through the week of harvesting in the garden. So this is going to be a full week or a few days of harvesting from the garden, preserving how we store things, and just staying on top of that, because it's one thing to grow a lot of food, but it's another thing to actually know how to use it and not let it go to waste. Of course, we do give some of the crops that don't produce well or overproduce, like maybe the green bean gets a little too big or the cucumber gets a little big, we do give those to our pigs or our chickens. For the most part, we try to make every bit count. So I'm right now getting some water warmed to put these green beans in that my husband and I snapped last night. I have 2 bowls this size to work on this morning, and then as I'm working on those and they're in the pressure canner, I'll start snapping, because you do have to snap the green beans, the ends off, and pull out the strings. If you get them young enough, which that's our goal, is to get them young enough, kind of this size, they don't have a big string, but if you accidentally let them get too big, I don't know if I have one in here, we are pretty good at picking out the big ones, but the bigger ones, you can obviously see. This one is much bigger. I know the lighting is bad, but it's just a cloudy day. I don't turn on overhead lights, especially early in the morning. It's only just at 7 o'clock. I like to let everyone wake up naturally and not have bright overhead lights on. So I apologize that it's not super bright, but you can see this one is much bigger than this one, and this one probably had a little bit of a string, or it might still. But anyways, we've got to snap 2 more 5-gallon buckets of green beans, and then if it stops raining, we'll probably be able to pick a couple more tonight. That will blanch these. You can cold pack green beans, but you can fit more in a jar if you hot pack them, because they'll kind of soften up, and that's just what I prefer to do. Now I also have my pressure canner. A pressure canner here. It still has water from last night, because I was canning green beans late into the evening. I'll just let this start warming. And then also to sterilize my jars. In the whole process, I put my jars down in the pressure canner and let them start warming. And then I'll show you how I pack them, pressure can them. It's pretty basic. I was so intimidated with pressure canning 2 summers back when I first started, but now it's just so simple. It's just continue going with the process. It's like an assembly line. There's step after step, and then it's so rewarding to see this counter full of green beans over here. So while I would love to grow and harvest all of our own products that we eat all the time, that's just not possible, and that's why I rely on Azure Standard for the things I can't grow here and harvest here and put up for the year. Azure Standard is an online co-op where you order your products, your foods, whatever you want off their website, and have it shipped to a local drop near you. You can order monthly, you can order, yearly. I shared with y'all last month that my goal this year was to order more from Azure and to go less to our local grocery store pickup. So this is my second month in a row to order. I'm tracking our grocery budget over the next few months to see how that evens out. So far we've had so many less trips to our local grocery store, and I think it's gonna budget out less in the long run. Though we are making a bulk order once a month through Azure, I think it's gonna even out. So I'm gonna show you what I ordered this month. I didn't have a huge haul. I had 7 cases in this pickup, so I'm just gonna open them. We just got home with them. I'm gonna open them up, show you what we have, and get everything put away. So this one is pack box, popcorn, 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 4 packages of popcorn. Spaghetti noodles, I do prefer to make our own pasta, but we are going on a trip next month and spaghetti noodles do not travel well, and spaghetti is one of the meals I'm going to make while we're on that trip. So I got some of these for that. This is just organic durum wheat seminola, so not freshly milled flour like I like to make here at the house, but for a trip that is fine. This is a box of frozen blackberries for smoothies. One of my favorite pregnancy treats right now. I did announce in my last video that I was expecting our 5th baby. One of my all-time favorite snacks right now is frozen fruit in a glass of milk or a bowl of milk, and it is so good. So I've been doing frozen strawberries, frozen blueberries. I got some frozen blackberries for that. It's like, instead of your ice for like an iced drink, you put frozen fruit in the milk, and it's so delicious. Although our cow is dry right now because she is due to calf at the end of the summer, or July, not really the end of the summer. So we've been without milk, but we have been having to buy milk, and we're not on like a regular rotation with the people we buy from. So we're just having to get the milk when they have the milk. So that's been a struggle. Is trying to keep raw milk in our house when we're so used to having it endlessly from our cow. Okay, this is just a big box of lemons. Also loving for pregnancy right now, lemon water, ice cold water with lemon, magnesium, a little bit of salt to get minerals in. So I've got a big box of lemons. Sweet corn. We just, in this video, I'm showing y'all we harvested some sweet corn from a local farm down the road because we did not grow sweet corn this year. Hey buddy. But it's not actually growing the best. So I did get a pack of sweet corn because we love corn in the summer to go with burgers, barbecue type foods. So that's just frozen sweet corn. This is butter. Got 6 packs of butter because I will definitely go to this. I'll probably be a little short by the end of the month before I order it again. And our beloved raw cheese from Azure. And my camera died in the midst of showing y'all our groceries, so I stopped, recharged the camera, made some popcorn, put up some of the frozen stuff. So I was showing y'all the cheese and the butter, our all-time favorite cheese. Last month I ordered 2. We still have some from last month, so I'm gonna see if like 1.5 will get us through a month. We used it a lot last month. I hosted a birthday party for my 1-year-old with family, used cheese then, so we'll see. I think 1 block of, what is this, 5 pounds? Yeah, 5.47 cheese will last us a month. Lastly, I got some popcorn. Sugar. This is just organic cane sugar that's heavy. We make sweet pickles. It's my husband's great-grandmother's recipe, and it uses sugar. Though I don't love using sugar in our homegrown pickles, they're my family's favorite, and we don't eat them like in abundance. They last for the year, but I need some more sugar to put up pickles. We don't have an opposition to sugar, we just don't overdo it. Then I have a box of apples that my children have already eaten an apple. I bought this same box last month, and it lasted us like 3 weeks. It didn't even last us the entire month. They've been out of their apples for the last week and a half. I always love seeing what others order from Azure. If you think it's something you'd be interested in, check out my link in the description. You can try out Azure, join, look around, see if it's something you'd be interested in. It's completely free to join, completely free to add yourself to a drop. You just pay for your items once you order, as well as a little bit of shipping costs. I did share last month a hack for getting sale products. So I think those blackberries and the corn were both on sale in May, and I added them to my June cart, locked in that price, that sale price for May before the price went up in June. So if you want to check out that video on how to use Azure and get some sale hacks to get sales for continual months, because like all the frozen fruit was on sale in May pretty drastically. So I bought strawberries in May. This month I bought the corn, which is not fruit, but corn and blackberries. I should have probably locked in some more for July, but we'll just see. So I shared about that hack last month. So if you want to check out Azure, check out the link in the description. I have children ready to eat popcorn, and we'll get back into our gardening and harvest portion of this video. We do not have enough freezer space to freeze a lot of our vegetables because we have our freezers for meat. So I can a lot out of necessity for room and space, and that means having the supplies you need. And we were low on lids this year. We just haven't restocked for the year from the last couple of years. My husband is getting some for me today while he's out, but I've just been reusing them and they're working fine. Okay, so this is now going to bring pressure up, and there will be steam releasing from this steam valve right here. I'll let that release for about 10 minutes, and then I'll put the cap on. I cannot remember what this is called, but this is what goes on, and will start rattling if your pressure gets too hot in your pressure canner, which you just monitor the heat, and this is just fine. There's no need to be scared of a pressure canner. I know many people are. In the past, they had them like blow up and glass explode in people's kitchen. They're not made that way anymore. They're very safe and very effective at putting up food for your family. And then this will start building the pressure. I follow just the ball canning guide, the pressure canning guide for what pressure to use. Green beans can at 11 pounds of pressure. Pints, I think it's 20 minutes. Quarts is 25. So I will do 25 minutes at 11 pounds pressure. This gauge will start to move up. If you're at different altitudes, you do adjust that accordingly to your altitude. But that's what we're waiting on now. This process is probably the longest, but it's all hands off. I just have to watch it. I have to come check on it every now and then, make sure everything stays where it needs to be. And then I'll have another 7 quarts canned to store up of our green beans. And all the rings off of the jars. Now I'm going to hold them, of course, and slightly lift like this. Just feel for a secure seal on all of these jars. Tap the lid, and if it with like a pencil or something, and if it sounds hollow, you'll know it didn't seal. These are going to be going to the basement storage throughout the day as I get time to take them down there. And that's how we put up green beans for our family. it is the next day and it is corn shucking day. My children actually really look forward to this. I told you earlier in the video, we did not grow sweet corn this year. We grew popcorn. So we're still waiting on that to harvest, and that will be a new crop for us this year. Drying corn and putting it up for popcorn. We do have a friend that lives nearby who grows lots of sweet corn, so we usually purchase some from them just because we really don't want to grow the quantity of corn that it takes when you grow corn. We'd rather just buy a little bit and put up on our own. So you see us here working as a family. My children actually love this. My son looks forward to the day we can shuck corn, and my daughters were actually really into helping me silk the corn this year. So that's what you kind of see us working together as a team. And I'll talk a little bit later in this video about children and farming and involving them and kind of how we approach that. But this is a family effort. Our entire family enjoys this process. We put on some music, we make it fun, and our children really look forward to this. My daughter asked me to buy her a corn silking brush for Christmas because she was so excited to silk corn. Now I know this excitement will not always last, especially as they get older, but I'm loving the excitement they bring to garden harvesting at this young age. And none of the food goes to waste in the process. Our livestock animals, cows and horses, love the corn husks when we are done with them. Okay, I told y'all our green beans were in overproduction this year, which is really probably not overproduction. We've just probably had pretty severe droughts the last couple of years, so this is probably normal for green beans. So this is the first year we've grown green beans where we are having to pick them every day or every other day. So I head out to the green bean rows after dinner pretty much every night. I put my baby on my back. He's pretty much used to it at this point. We've been doing this for about a week now when you see me picking. And then I invite children if they want to come. My husband finishes a few tasks outside with some other animals and then he will join me. But my children, we never want to force our children to help us. Now, we talk a lot about growing our own food and why we want to grow our own food for our family and why it's healthier and more budget friendly to grow our own food, not to the extent that we feed ourselves off of our property for the entire year. But we do, for a lot of it, green beans are a staple in our home, kind of like potatoes. And we have them year round. This is one of the foods I spend a lot of time canning, as you saw me in the beginning of this video. So we talk a lot about why we want to take the time, why it's beneficial for us to spend time picking green beans. It might not be our favorite task, but why it's important for our family. My daughter actually loves this job. She told us one night we were just having a relaxing evening picking green beans together. I'm never going to force them because this is the lifestyle my husband and I chose, to grow a lot of our own garden crops and to harvest them and put them up for the year. It's not the lifestyle my children chose. Now, if they want to join us, that's beautiful, and we talk it up a lot and invite them to join us. But ultimately, this is something my husband and I chose and not something I will force my children to do. There's a lot of people a couple of generations ahead of us that were forced to work in the fields, in the farms, because out of necessity. They didn't have a grocery store they could go to if they didn't harvest their green beans for the year. We don't live in that kind of society today. We can go to the grocery store and buy our foods if necessary. It's not our first choice, but it is an option. So I'm not ever going to, I've talked about this before, I'm never going to force my children, like threaten them to get out in the bean patch and start picking or you're not going to eat. Invite them, we make it fun, we make it enjoyable, we do it as a family, we just talk as we're working, and I can see my children as they get older enjoying this time more, spending time together as a family. We do, when we sell produce, we do pay our children an incentive of that. But if it's just for our family, they know they can help and work to feed our family. So that's kind of our take on children and gardening. I've been asked that before of, do I make my children work in the garden? Are they forced to, or is it kind of optional? But it's definitely talked up and we make it fun and enjoyable as we can, but they're not forced, nor do I plan to ever force them, because this is something that I chose, my husband and I chose, something we enjoy. If we pass along that love to our children, that'd be wonderful. If not, that's fine too. Lastly, in this video, I am putting the corn up to freeze for the year. We shucked it out in the garage the previous day. This is the next morning. All I do here to make this easy is I use an old bundt pan. This is a very old like non-stick pan that I don't even cook with anymore. It's strictly my corn pan for getting corn off the cob. I know they make tools now where you can slide the cob through the hole. We don't have one of those tools. I just do it the old-fashioned way, cut it off with a knife, freeze it up for the year, and this makes perfect cream corn. Hope y'all enjoyed spending these few days with me, working out in the garden, seeing how we harvest crops as a family, how we bring our kids along, and try to make it as enjoyable as possible. Jobs that aren't always the most fun, we try our best to make them fun as a family. How I put a lot of these up to preserve them for the year. This is not always the easiest time of year. It's a very busy time of year for us, the summertime, but it's a very rewarding time of the year. And we always look forward to all of the food we have put up to feed our family for the next 6 months to a year. So thank you for spending this video with me today. If you want to check out Azure Standard, check out my link in the description. I'll chill in my next video.